A typical training week was generally my long run was a Sunday. Sort of that sort of 2.5 hours, depending on up to sort of about that 40 kilometres sort of mark. And then so the next day would be necessarily easy as just to make a couple of runs. And then sort of session Tuesday, depending on 1 kilometre reps or 2 kilometre reps or something like that. Another easy day on the Wednesday. And then sort of Thursday become a bit harder, a bit longer. So once again, mileage depending on sort of up to 25 kilometres, whatever my coach Dick Telford wanted me to do that day. An easier day on the Saturday or Friday, and then another hard Saturday, and then back into the long run. So that was the hardest day, was generally the weekend, but then made sure either end of those days was quite easy. The biggest week I ever did was, I think, 220 kilometres, I think. Which, yeah, there's a lot of sleeping involved in between runs, that's for sure. But it was just made sure that's the next day it actually was, I recovered. That was probably the most important thing. There was days in there that, I'd just turn up to training, I can get through this, I'll be fine, but just couldn't complete it. And then you get down on yourself, you get angry, have a chat to the coach and just leave it there and live there. And then the next session you're generally okay because you cut your session short, so you recovered enough, because then Thursday you come out and you go, well, where was that Tuesday? And you're like, you don't know. It's just days were like that, and it's something I had to learn towards the end of, even towards the end of my career, I still got frustrated that I couldn't do a session one day but could do it 2 or 3 days later and it was fine. I'm like, it was just wasn't recovered enough when I thought I had, which then comes down to diet and that sort of thing, which, probably not the best or ideal diets that I had throughout as an elite athlete, but hey, you got to enjoy some things, don't you?
It's interesting though you say that. With such high energy output as professional runner, endurance runner, marathon, the caloric demand's so high. I think it's a matter of the calories, no matter how you get them in, is almost more important than the distribution of what you're actually eating to get those calories. Yep. I know you mentioned you were quite fond of lots of different foods that Mars bars were a staple. Mars bars?
And soft drink, and I know a lot of dietitians just get this shakes when I actually talk about what I used to eat, but it was enough to fuel me. So generally a bottle of soft drink a night or a day. Plus, maybe a bag of lollies in there as well, or a packet of chips, depending. Sundays were always great because I'd do my long run in the morning and then I would recover by eating packets of chips and soft drink and pizza for dinner on Sunday night. But it was good times, but as I say, there wasn't much going out on the weekend though, because I was always tired, having to back up for the next day of training. But you have to reward yourself, and that was the way I rewarded myself, was by having the odd more than often cheat day or whatever.